Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're doing something a little different. We're going to step into an ancient workshop and explore a blueprint for some truly divine objects, drawn right from the texts of Exodus 37.
So how do you build a home for the divine? Well, this explainer is going to walk you through a set of ancient instructions that answer that exact question. And we're not talking about abstract ideas here. We're talking wood, gold, and just incredible craftsmanship.
All right, let's jump right in. The whole thing kicks off with a master craftsman, a guy named Bezalel, and his first and probably most famous creation, the Ark of the Covenant.
So let's really break this down. How was the Ark actually built? We'll start with its core parts and the, get this, very precise measurements that were laid out for it.
Okay, so right away, you start to see this fascinating pattern emerge. The core, the heart of it, is this durable shittim wood, which was probably a type of acacia. But here's the key. It's completely covered inside and out with pure gold. So this isn't just some fancy decoration, It's a statement. It's about sanctity, both on the inside and the outside.
And when you look at how it was made, you can see this clear design language taking shape. You've got the strength of the wood for structure, right? Then the purity of the gold for divinity. And then you have the practical stuff, like the rings and staves, so they could actually carry it. Every single detail is this perfect blend of purpose and really deep symbolism.
Okay, now let's talk about the lid of the Ark. Because this thing was not just some simple cover you slapped on top. No, it was its own distinct object, and it even had its own name, the mercy seat. And get this, it was made from one single solid piece of pure gold.
And this right here brings us to one of the most incredible details in the entire text. I mean, the way the two cherubim on the mercy seat are described is just a stunning testament to the level of artistry we are talking about here.
So here's the crucial thing to understand. These weren't separate little statues that they just stuck on later. Nope. Bezalel and his team had to sculpt the entire thing, the flat lid and the two incredibly detailed winged figures from the exact same block of gold. Can you even imagine the skill that would take to do all that without a single joint or a single seam? It's mind-boggling. All right, so now let's see how that same design language carries over to the other furniture. Because Bezalel didn't just stop with the Ark. He made all the furniture for this holy space, and he followed that same divine blueprint with just incredible consistency.
Next up on the build list, the Table of Showbread. And you'll see it uses those same core materials we've been talking about, but the design here introduces a whole new layer of really intricate detail.
And this is just a brilliant example of that theme we were talking about. You've got that same shittim wood and pure gold foundation, right? But check out the details. There's this decorative border. It's only a handbreadth wide, and it gets its own separate golden crown. So you have one for the tabletop and one for the border. It's such a subtle but really beautiful extra layer of complexity.
All right, now we get to what might just be the most intricate, the most artistically demanding object in the entire workshop. And that is the candlestick, also known as the menorah.
And the text really emphasizes that this whole elaborate thing was made of beaten work. That means, just like the cherubim, it was all formed from one single mass of gold. It wasn't assembled from a bunch of different parts. The whole design is so organic, almost like a metallic tree of life, with branches, almond-shaped bowls, knobs, and flowers, and it's all flowing seamlessly from one central shaft. Just incredible.
And the amount of gold, the sheer amount of precious metal they used for this one object is just astonishing. And the text actually gives us a specific measurement, just to make sure we understand its immense value.
So the candlestick and all its little tools, the lamps, the snuffers, everything, it was all made from a single talent of pure gold. Now, a talent was a unit of weight, and we're talking a massive quantity. Some estimates put it at over 75 pounds of gold for one object. It just goes to show you the immense significance of this single, beautiful piece.
So, we've covered sight and touch, right? Well, the final creations in Bezalel's workshop bring in another sense, the sense of smell. It's all about completing this multi-sensory experience of this sacred space.
And this smaller, square altar, it continues those design themes just perfectly. Let's walk through it. You see the shittim wood core? Check. The complete gold overlay? Check. Another crown of gold? Yep. And look at the horns at the corners. They were part of the altar itself. They weren't just stuck on later. It's another echo of that one-piece craftsmanship we saw with the mercy seat and the menorah.
And then, to really complete the entire environment, 2 final things were made. But these weren't made by a metalworker or a woodworker. No, this was, as the text says, according to the work of the apothecary. It was a special holy anointing oil and a pure, sweet incense, both designed to fill the space with a very specific, sanctified aroma.
So when you step back and look at everything Bezalel made, it becomes so clear, right? This wasn't just a random pile of fancy furniture. This was a perfectly harmonized set. Every single object was speaking the same visual and material language. Each piece connects to all the others through this shared blueprint of wood, gold, and purpose.
So the text from Exodus gives us the what and the how in just incredible detail, right? It lays out the exact specs for every single holy item. But it kind of leaves us hanging on the why. Why that level of precision? Why that specific combination of materials? It's a question that really makes you think, doesn't it? It invites us to wonder about the nature of devotion, of craftsmanship, and what it really means to try and build a physical home for something intangible.